Everyone, I am coming to you live to chat with you about the fear of rejection from potential clients and potential business partners. I'm Tandy Elisala, and I am your leadership coach and Chief Inspiration Officer. So one member in our group, Denise, talked about the fear of one of her biggest leadership challenges was overcoming objection, overcoming the fear of hearing the word no from potential clients and from potential business partners. And whether you are in a direct sales, network marketing, or coaching business, or you have a brick and mortar business, or whatever it is that you sell, okay, I want you to know a couple things about the fear of rejection, and then I'm going to share some ways that you can shift this, okay? Ooh, just had another thought too. Woohoo! All right. Remember that it's not what you sell as much as it is how you sell. So the more that you can get to know the person, whether it's a potential client, whether it's a business partner, whether it's an affiliate, whether it's, whatever it is, the more that you can really get to know the person. Hi, Jessica. Get to know the person. Get to know what are their values. What makes them tick. What challenges are they having in their life and in their business? How are they investing their time? What are their goals this year? Like, asking these kinds of questions can really help you get to know a person as the person, not just a potential number or, oh, if they buy this from me, I'm going to get X amount of money. Because in the end, it is about relationship building and it's about connection. Jessica is a great example of this. So she reached out to me one day. We were just connected on Facebook. I even forget how we connected at the moment, but we connected on Facebook, and she reached out to me in a private message and said, hey, I just want to get to know you. I'm like, I'm game. Let's do virtual coffee, And so we chatted and we just got to know each other. And it wasn't about sales, and it wasn't about like, here's what you can do for me, la, 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 la. And, through learning more about me as a person, she learned that I love gratitude and that, I love personal touch and family and all these other things, right? And then she introduced, the company that she and I are a part of. And then I took a peek and was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I saw how it could benefit me and my clients and everyone. But had Jessica come at it from a scarcity place or from a, oh my gosh, I need 3 more people this month and da-da-da-da-da, and, the hard sell, and didn't take that time to get to know me or to ask me questions or for us to just get to know each other, to develop that know, like, and trust factor, it would have been, there's no way. I would have been like, I'm done, seriously. Like, so when people feel that you genuinely care about them as a person, it's so much easier. And here's the other thing I want you to know is, and I talk about trust a lot, but a lack of trust causes fear. So if you lack trust in yourself, in your ability to communicate the benefits, of your product or program or service, that's going to become evident. And so, or if you don't trust other people, that also is going to become evident by how you behave, what you say, what you do. And so here are 4 things that I think are important about overcoming the fear of rejection, overcoming the fear of no. The first is, and I know this is can be easier said than done, okay? When you hear no a lot, it can be challenging to let that past go when you're present with this person. Because you're in the back of your head, you're like, oh, I've heard no 1,000 times, la 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 la. And you let that fear impact your energy and your ability to be really truly present with this individual in front of you or on the phone or what have you. So releasing the past, releasing all the past no's and rejections and all of that is really important. The second thought around this is, and I've talked about this also a lot around fear, is to feel the fear and do it anyway. Let the fear fuel you. You take the driver's seat instead of fear. Fear isn't a bad thing. Fear can save our lives. Fear gives us that fight or flight response. There's a place and a time for fear. And most of the time, it's misplaced. And we allow fear to drive our actions and our judgments and our beliefs and all of these things. And so, I'll talk about fear a little bit. I think I'm going to do a separate thing about this because I think it will be helpful. Okay, anyway. So if you feel the fear, allow it to fuel you in a positive way. And as I've used the metaphor before that Elizabeth Gilbert so eloquently does in her book, Big Magic, she references how fear, like taking a drive, you and fear are about to take a drive. And so instead of allowing fear to take the wheel, to touch the GPS, to touch the radio station, all that, you give fear something to do. You give it something else to do. So you give it a phone, give it a laptop, give it something, open up Pokemon, tell it to get in the back seat, tell it to be quiet, to not speak unless it is spoken to. You tell fear it cannot touch the GPS, it cannot touch the radio station, it does not have an opinion unless you allow it. And you take the wheel. Allowing it to fuel you is a good way. So if you think about that metaphor of like, are you going to let fear take the wheel or are you going to take the wheel? The third idea around this is to focus on what you do want. So in the past, when I've had conversations that were going to be difficult and I wasn't quite sure, how the conversation would go, one of the things I would do, and this works, guys, it works, and gals, it works, is I would imagine, pretend, visualize how I wanted the conversation to go. I would actually, in my mind, I would rehearse and prepare. Now, that doesn't mean like everything has to be cookie cutter or prepared. What I'm talking about, though, is preparing, imagining the outcome that you want and expect. Imagine the best case scenario. What is it that you want this to do? Like how do you want the conversation to end? And think about what needs to happen in order for that to occur. And then just visually, imagining that conversation, imagining their reaction, imagining what you say, imagining again their, reaction, and really truly being present. Okay. So that's another like ninja tip is, to really like imagine it, visualize it, pretend, you're having the conversation and the outcome that it is you want. And that visualization is so super powerful. And I have been able to de-escalate issues and really turn situations around by doing this. It's about intention, and just imagining it ahead of time. And then it helps me to intuitively know how to accomplish that end result. What does rejection really mean? And I agree, Jessica, fear can be paralyzing. It absolutely can be paralyzing. But what does rejection really mean? When somebody says no to your offer, whatever it is, it could mean that you're not the right person to help them. It could mean they are not in a space to be able to be helped. They might not know what they don't know until they know they don't know it, and you know that they don't know it, but they don't know. But they're not in a place where they can respond accordingly. It can also mean not right now. It could mean timing. It could be that the product or the service isn't in line with them. And I encourage you, when you hear no, to keep going, because all it means, and I equate the same to things like when people unsubscribe. So, you send out an email and then you get, somebody that unsubscribes or sends you a nasty gram or whatever. I used to let that bother me. Like, seriously, I used to let it bother me. I was like, oh my God, they hate me. Oh, all this stuff. And then I was like, wait, no. So here's how to reframe and shift, okay? So I now say, great. That is one more opening for somebody that is a part of my tribe, that is, that does want to hear, from me and have what I have, hear what I have to say or offer, and, learn from me. And when the wrong people start getting out of your life, you make room for the right people and the energy shifts. Think about all the different people that heard no over and over and over again. And they kept going until they heard yes. Exactly, Jessica. So Jack Canfield is a great example of this. He is the co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. I don't know of many people on the planet that haven't heard of Jack Canfield. If you haven't, look him up. But Jack Canfield is truly amazing. And he and Mark Hansen took the idea of the Chicken Soup for the Soul to, I think it was over 120 publishers, and they all turned him down. And then they kept going, and they kept going. And that 122nd or 123rd one was a yes. And now, like, hi Lynn, can you imagine the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, like the hundreds of books they have, not being in print and impacting the lives of so many people? I think about Oprah, who as a young reporter was told that she didn't have the face to do TV. Like, seriously? I'm so happy you're here too, Lynn. Hi, Becca. I think about Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. When he was in high school, he was repeatedly told by his coaches, you are nothing. You are a horrible basketball player. You will never amount to anything. And he overcame it, and he's like, screw you, I'm doing this, okay? I think about all the inventions that wouldn't be here today. We are able to connect via technology because of inventions that allowed it to be. And I also think about one special woman, Louise Hay. She had a message with her book, The Power to Heal, or The Powers Within to Heal, or something like that. I should know that by memory. But anyway, she too went to just virtually every publisher on the planet, and no one picked up her book. So you know what she did? She created her own publishing house. Boom! She created her own publishing house. And now Hay House is it's probably the biggest self-help publisher out there. And they have a huge calling, a huge following. And Hay House is a very unique and inclusive community. And I just think about that, and I think about all the authors that wouldn't be published today, or all the people that wouldn't have gotten their messages out had Louise Hay given up. So, my friends, when somebody says no to your product, to your service, to even sitting down and having virtual coffee with you, there are people out there that are like, no, too busy. Okay, you're too busy to build a connection. That's great. Bye. Is to say, I wonder how many no's I'm going to get today. Because I know that X number of no's equals there's a yes on the other side. So for every 10 no's, you get a yes. You're just moving quicker through those no's. And here's the thing, and this circles back to the first thing I started talking about on this broadcast, which is the more that you can really be invested in getting to know somebody before you sell them, you'll know if your product or service is right for them. You'll know if, hi Trish, you'll know how you can help them. And if you listen to them, if you get on virtual coffee dates with people and you really, instead of pushing your product and, oh, can you do me a favor and do this or buy this or is saying, hey, can we get on the phone? I'd love to chat with you and see where you're at with life, and listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they're saying. For Jessica, she's listening. I know she's listening for things like, ooh, I don't have enough time. I need to save time. Oh yeah, I am a leader. I do have clients and employees or contractors, and I need to appreciate them more. How can I do that? What's the solution? Oh, I do want to reach out to clients more in different ways than the competition. I need to stay connected. How can I do that? This is a great way to do that. I think about, Trish. Is in the health and wellness field. So her products are all about health and wealth, or health, and wellness. So she would get on the phone with people and she would be listening and watching for, as you ask questions, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, you ask questions like, hey, what are your goals this year? How are you doing with that? How are you crushing it? Like, what kind of support do you need this year? What kinds of vacations are you taking? How are you, and if your friends on Facebook, I'm not above looking at their Facebook feed and seeing, like, are they having trouble sleeping? Are they, often, doing whatever? Have they released a bunch of weight? Okay, great. I want to know how they're doing that. Like, it's all about connection. It's all about really getting real with people. And instead of asking for the sale or demanding the sale, is really get to know them and then use their language. Find out what it is they need, and then, where can you support them? And it might be a referral to somebody else that that offers or sells whatever products or services. Or it could be, hey, they might be going through a difficult time and they just need you know, a sounding board. The goal here, though, my point is, you got to keep pushing through the no's, because on the other side of no is a yes. Okay? And you only need one yes to get momentum. Okay? Seriously. So it's not what you sell, but how you sell. Okay? It's not what you sell, but how you sell. And if you're focused on the sales and you're focused on the numbers, and I don't blame a lot of network marketing and direct sales companies. I don't blame the people that are in those companies, because the people, there are some companies that are above reproach, and they do provide extraordinary training and doing it right. And there are more that don't. You know, they are all about the sale, push, do. And that's great, because we need goals, you know, and people need to have those goals. I'm not suggesting that at all, that you not have goals, or that you have something, you got to have something to reach for. And you've got to be able to treat others the way you would want to be treated. And you know, I've been in situations where I'm on a call with somebody, and I know through listening to them, talking with them, that they aren't a right fit for me with my business. And that's okay too. And I just, you know, preserved a relationship, because I didn't ram my whatever, down there, my solution, down their throat, which wasn't really the right solution for them at this moment. And so I also find that people that take the initiative and get on the phone with me, and when I do that with others, like, relationships build, real relationships, real connections, and they will refer other people to you. They might not be a right fit or the right time or the right whatever, but they will refer other people to you, because they know that you have integrity, and they know that you are about relationship. So I hope this helps, So to summarize, it's not what you sell, it's how you sell. That a lack of trust is what causes fear. Remember my analogy with Elizabeth Gilbert and Big Magic about, you take the wheel, tell fear to take a back seat. Release the past, release all the other no's and crap that you've gotten. Like, release it, let it go energetically, so that you can fully embrace and embody the present moment, which is all there is. And if you've got that no in your head, and you, to my third point, you are focused on how you don't want to feel, you're going to get more of that. So how I reframe and shift is, I imagine how I do want to feel and how I do want the conversation to go, and then go accordingly. And remember, rejection isn't a rejection of you as a person. Okay? Rejection is wrong person, wrong time, wrong product, whatever, wrong delivery, wrong message. It's not wrong person. Okay? That's a huge point that I want you to get. Is it doesn't mean that you are a bad person, or that your product is a bad product, or your service is a bad service. Not at all. It simply means that of the billions of people on the planet, that one person that you just heard no from is a wrong fit. Move on to the next one. Really, if you think about how many people are on the planet that are available to talk to, getting 10 or even 100 or even 1,000 no's is worth coming out of the other side, fully empowered, fully inspired, fully motivated, and impacting lives the way only you can. Okay? So I hope that helped. I hope that you got some inspiration and some clarity around that. And, another way that you could reframe is to say something like, and it sounds silly, but it's kind of cool, is to say, ooh, how many no's can I get today? Like, whoo, yay, how many no's? Like, how many people can I talk to today? And, oh, you're welcome, Lynn and Trish, I'm so glad, and Jessica. How many no's does it take? Think about Jack Canfield. Think about Michael Jordan. Think about Louise Hay. Think about Oprah. Think about Michael Jordan. Think about Einstein. Think about all of the people, all the inventions that would not be here today if it weren't for no's. If it weren't for no's. Because through the no's come the yeses. Here's one thing one last tip, and then I'm going to wrap it up and let you guys finish the rest of your day, is we talked about no's and we talked about yeses, but what about maybes? Well, here's the thing about maybes. Maybe is the death of productivity. Okay? Maybe is the death of productivity. So when you hear maybe, what they're really saying is, I want to know more, or, catch me in a month, money-wise, timing-wise. It could be, hey, this is, something I'm interested in, but I want to learn more. And you really got to understand how people assimilate information. And NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and use that to help drive the conversations. But don't ever leave things with a maybe. I mean, you can say, hey, and follow up. Like if somebody says maybe, great, may I follow up with you in a week or a day or a month or whatever. But always don't treat maybe as a no. That's the point. Don't treat maybe as a no. Treat maybe as a yes. Treat maybe as an opportunity until somebody says no. Okay? Yet a lot of people I know hear maybe and they stop and they don't continue on. Now, when you hear no, honor that no. But when you hear maybe, like inquire, ask, like what else? What can I do? What information can I provide? Are you a visual? Do I need to send you videos? Do I need to get you on the phone with somebody? Do I need to send you the ingredient list? Do I need to, whatever it is, like, and through connection and truly getting to know somebody, you'll understand what that is. Okay. So I hope that helps, guys. That's what I got today. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And I will be on probably tomorrow to talk about a fear that I have had that was just uncovered today. So I'm still processing it. And then I'll share more about it tomorrow. But it's pretty deep. All right. Take care, guys. Mwah. Love you all. Bye.